views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
And hello, welcome to Open, the show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm Daren Jaime. Today we're going to update you on what's happening in and around our borough. Coming up, Bronx Community Health Network is hosting the All of Us research program for community members and medical personnel to come together in a town hall discussion about health. We're going to learn more about that a little bit later on in the show. And then afterwards, we're going to catch up with the inspirational young women and speakers behind the Lady Bosses movement. Next, Infoco Incorporated presents on gentrification, Casa Es Su Casa. We'll learn more with the director and two of the artists behind this apartment gallery series. Then after that, ABC Training Center is holding an open house. Stick around and learn about how you can be involved in medical and career training programs. Then we're going to sit down with the author of Diving In Stilettos First, a book about single life in New York City. So stay tuned because all this and much more is heading your way. Right now, we're officially open. And hello everyone, I'm Daren Jaime, and today is Wednesday, May 8th, and you're watching now Open, a live program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to you. We also want to welcome our viewers on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, as Open is being broadcast live simultaneously on MNN's channel. Now you can stay connected to us via Twitter at BronxNet TV and on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Well, a lot has certainly been going on through the past week. We'll take you through a couple of things with some Bronx updates. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has unveiled the NYC Care Card, calling it the key to quality and affordable health care for hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers who cannot afford or are eligible for insurance. Now, the NYC Care Card is set to launch in the Bronx on August the 1st. Residents will be able to use the card to receive their own doctor, get preventative screenings and tests, and connect to a 24/7 service to help make appointments. It will also provide members with 24/7 access to medications at HAC's hospitals, Jacoby, Lincoln, and North Central Bronx. And New York City Health and Hospitals will be hiring more doctors to serve the approximate 10,000 patients expected to enroll in the new program. Now, health officials state that an estimated 300,000 New Yorkers are currently ineligible for health insurance, including those who can't afford it or are undocumented immigrants. They'll have to enroll in NYC Care. Now, the $100 million program will be fully launched in all 5 boroughs by the end of 2020. Well, if you notice the shortage of available cars on Uber, you're seeing correctly. Uber and Lyft drivers across the country began a strike Wednesday, protesting low pay among several other labor concerns. The drivers signed off the drive share apps and started their 2-hour strike during rush hour from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in front of the Charging Bull at Bowling Green. Now, they also plan to protest outside the Uber and Lyft headquarters in Queens, demanding job security and higher wages. Uber is actually expected to go public on Friday on the New York Stock Exchange. The debut could raise roughly $10 billion for the ride-hailing company. In other news, Bronx Week 2019, it's officially kicked off. The highly anticipated annual festival honors citizens and institutions contributing to the rich culture and uniqueness of the Bronx. Our BronxNet correspondent, Jericho Tran, brings us the story.
I'm here at the Lit Bar to kick off the 48th year of Bronx Week, where Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. will be announcing the 3 honorees for this year's Bronx Walk of Fame, class of 2019.
Who needs Barnes & Noble? We don't need a savior. Bronxites gathered inside the newly opened Lit Bar, the only bookstore in the Bronx, to begin their celebration of everything that makes the Bronx a great place to live, work, and raise a family.
What I love about Bronx Week is that we celebrate everything good that has happened and continues to happen in our borough, like the Lit Bar.
The Lit Bar earned its spot as a prime location for the kickoff event for Bronx Week because it served as a true testament to the Bronx's tenacious and thriving nature throughout the years. One Bronx Walk of Fame honoree, Iran the Blade Barkley, expressed his excitement over the positive changes in the Bronx.
We had abandoned buildings and burnt out buildings, and everything was smoked out, and because those are the days that gangs and everybody was hanging out, and drugs was real rampant then. So it was bad. Just to see it now, I said, wow, we came a long ways.
The Bronx has also come a long ways in their tourism industry. This year, the Bronx Zoo received the Tourism Award, where Executive Vice President of Public Affairs for the Wildlife Conservation Society, John Cavelli, acknowledged a growth in visitors at the Bronx Zoo over the past years.
We're at about 2 million visitors this year. It's been an exciting period. We've had some incredible experiences over the last several years, new exhibits that's opened up.
While they were not able to attend, the honorees for the Bronx Walk of Fame class of 2019 also included Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter Regina Spektor and Dr. Carolyn Porco.
In terms of the honorees, they embody and exemplify everything that we want to preach and teach to our young and future generations.
Bronx Week events will continue until May 19th, where Bronx Week will come to an end with a parade on Mosholu Parkway. For more information on all these events, please visit ilovethebronx.com. Reporting for BronxNet, Jericho Tran.
And thank you, Jericho. That's all we have for our Bronx update. Switching gears now, since 1972, the ABC Training Center has been offering health career training courses with programs such as home health aide, phlebotomy, EKG, pharmacy, nursing assistant, even bartending classes, and much more. They're holding an open house where you can learn more and sign up for any of these programs. Joining us now is Dave Herwitz, who's the director of ABC Training Center, and Prithvi Sami, admissions, and welcome.
Thank
Good morning.
you.
Good morning. So as we talk about the open house, got an opportunity, and I was thrown off. You talk about healthcare and bartending?
Yeah, it's a strange combination when we first hear it, but
Yeah.
We have a bartending course. Most of our courses are in the health career sector. So we're having an open house this Friday at noon, from noon to 4. And we're just inviting people to walk through our facility and meet all our instructors, see a little bit about each program. And our current students will be there offering free blood pressure exams to the public. And we just, people can sign up on the spot, or they can, just ask questions. We've got some refreshments we'll serve. Mm-hmm. And basically it's just to, get us out there. We talk about alternatives, say, for high school graduates that maybe don't want to go to college right away, or don't want to go or can't afford it. We have a good pathway to fast, immediate training, just a few weeks, and bang, you're out working, because these jobs are in demand.
Prithvi, talk about the students that you got coming through the program and your job in admissions.
Yes, so I'm usually the first face they see, so basically they would need a state ID in order to enroll. They'll need a high school diploma, and they can take an entrance exam. We take all foreign students, and it's just great to see, to help them and assist them in their educational pathways.
Right. Dave, walk us a little bit through ABC, because if someone doesn't know about ABC.
Yeah.
Sure.
We've actually been around since 1972 in the Bronx, and basically our philosophy is to provide quick, low-cost job training. I mean, if you're looking for a job, the last thing you want to do is, well, not the last thing, but not everybody is ready to take 2 years or 3 years of schooling and pay a lot of tuition and then wait and then take a certification test. We're a really bang-bang operation. For example, for home health aide, which according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to be the #1 in-demand job in the country in the next 20 years, you can come to ABC, take a 3-week class, go right on the Department of Health hiring registry after you do the 3 weeks plus a clinical day, and you're out there. Okay, we have recruiters come to the class to hire you. As a matter of fact, they compete to hire you. If you take our program, you'll see about a dozen recruiters in the time that you're there. For Nurses Aid, we have our partners, Advanced Care Staffing, who are also on our premises, and they want all the CNAs or Nurses Aides that we have. So we're kind of one-stop shopping. You can come to ABC, do your training, take your certification exams, although for home health aid there is none, you just go right on the registry. But for a lot of other courses, there's a certification exam, you can take that in our building, and you can get hired right in our building. So you never have to leave the building to
Pretty much.
Yeah, do it all in the same place.
Exactly.
So people who come in the door, if they're coming to the open house and they want to come a part, let's talk about requirements again, so that way they know when they're coming.
Yes, so it's state ID, and they need a high school diploma or GED. If they don't have one, that's fine. They'll just do a free entrance exam that we offer right on premises, and then they'll be on the way to register, pretty much.
It doesn't have to be that day, though. They can just come back whenever they
Yes.
like. But if they just want to get, all the instructors will be there to answer questions. You can see all the rooms, including the bar. We've got a nice bar set up.
Yeah.
And, it's just an open house, nice atmosphere.
Is there a particular area that more people are leaning and gravitating towards?
I would say we have a lot of interested students. Like I would say from like within the high school, because I've been visiting. I'm currently doing a project right now. I'm visiting all the high schools in the Bronx currently, all 174 of them. So you'll look out for me in the spring, and I am basically just providing and educating them on using alternative pathways to attend our school. And so basically they'll need that state ID like I mentioned, the educational document, which would be the high school, and we're just happy to help them start their health careers and build their resume.
You talk about touching base at all these high schools. What's been the reaction with students when you talk about the program?
I think they don't have that kind of. I feel like we don't have much resources, in the Bronx, and I feel like visiting them, they seem surprised to even know that they can actually attend a trade school. They're like, what is a vocational school? Because a lot of them, they don't even know what that is. And so to educate them and have them research and start out that even in their senior year, it's a great head start in their health career training.
I think bartending gets their attention without fail. We have a 2-week bartending course from beginner to ready to work in 2 weeks. I'd say our most popular programs overall are home health aid, certified nurse aid, and EKG phlebotomy tech. The good thing about all of these kinds of jobs is that they're heavily in demand. Unfortunately, people are going to continue to age and become ill. Unfortunately, but it's a fact. So these jobs are out there, and you don't have to wait 3 or 4 years of training to get a degree and do all of these things. So we're like an assembly line. We graduate about 3,000 students a year, and like I said, we've been doing it for a very long time.
All right. Well, we want people to come on out there and check it out. And so, Dave Herwitz, Prithvi Sammy, thanks so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you.
Talk about ABC Training. Now, the ABC Center Open House will be taking place on Friday, May the 10th, once again. Now, that's at 50 East Fordham Road, and that's between the hours of 12 and 4. So, if you want more information, please email Prithvi at abctrainingscenter.net, or you can call 718-364-6700. Once again, 718-364-6700. We are taking a quick break. We're going to be back with more Open. Stay with us. We're coming right back right after this. Diving In Stilettos First, Memoirs of Dating Mr. Right Now, is actually a true story based on the dating life of the author going through the motions of single life in New York City. Here now to tell us a little bit more about the book is the published Bronx-based author, Shauntay L. Dunbar. And we welcome you.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So you got a book out.
I
and
do.
It's based on life, right?
Oh, yeah.
A real trying life.
Yeah, loosely based.
Right.
I'm trying to protect the innocent.
How much, really?
Not much.
Not much. No, that's right. So you talk about, in your book, you're really talking about your dating life and your relationship. And
Yes.
so walk us through it.
So my book, Diving In Stilettos First, starts off with my annulment. So after 3 years of being married, I ended up getting the annulment, and I start my dating life all over again after being in a relationship for like 7 years. So the book basically picks up where I left him.
Where you left him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go through a lot of the motions of meeting the guys that your friends want you to, meet and hang out with, and then the ones from the past who creep back in some reason, like they just know, like, she's single, let's go get her. Like,
Right.
and then of course online dating, you have to dabble in that a little bit.
You dabbled.
A little bit.
How'd it go? It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Right.
I talk about it. I survived.
You survived. So listen, so you take these experiences, you culminate them in the book.
Yes.
And then you have the opportunity to talk really about relationships, right?
Yes.
So out of everything with what you've experienced, what did you come away with?
I learned who I am as a person.
Okay.
That's what the whole thing is basically about, learning about self-love. Like, you put up with a lot of things when you don't know your worth.
Right.
So once you discover that, it's like your standards like shoot up, and you're like, I'll never go through that again. So that's the thing that I want to like encourage women to, love themselves, know that they're worth it, and laugh along the way. Dating is not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be, trying. It's supposed to be fun. Do it like you shop, have a good time. You don't like it, put it back.
It's just that simple? All right. Well, listen, now, in addition to this, you also do IG Live, right, every Tuesday?
I do.
Yeah.
I do IG Live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. with my cousin Adrian. Our show is called Her View, and people just send us DMs with their dating questions, and we give our perspective on how to solve the problems.
And so part of what you talk about is self-love, right?
Yes.
And loving self first, right?
Yes.
So how long did it take you to get to the place where you said, in spite of everything that you went through, I gotta love self first?
After I finished my book, I kind of read it back, and I was like, girl, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why did you allow yourself to go through all this stuff? And I realized I was dating the same guy in like different forms. So it was like there's a common denominator, which was me, and I had to change things if I wanted, things to be different for my life. So I changed things for me, and now everything's so much better.
Everything's so much better?
Yes.
Okay, so you got your perspective on it.
Yes, absolutely.
So as you go out and you counsel young ladies and
Yes.
they take the book, they read the book, what do you hear from them?
Girl, how do you know me? Or you're my sister, or we're friends in my head. Like, that's the best part, just being relatable and letting everyone know, like, you're not the only one going through these things, and it's okay. Let's laugh about it and get through it and not make those mistakes again.
But when you were going through it, you felt you were the only one going through it?
Yeah, of course you do. Until, you write your story out and you're like, I can't be the only one. There's no way.
Right.
So my friends were like, girl, you need to write a book because you're crazy.
Well, let's talk about writing a book for a minute, because now you write the book, you put these guys on blast.
I do.
Oh, God, what do they say?
What did the guys say?
Yeah.
That's assuming that some of them read.
Oh, no.
The good ones in here have read it, and they absolutely love it and support it 100%. And then the others,
They don't know. They're just finding out right now.
maybe.
Maybe. They'll find out after a while.
I have a lawyer.
You should got all the right answers. All the right answers. So where do you go from here? I mean, you got the book going. You have the relationship talk on IG Live.
Yeah.
What is it that you ultimately find yourself wanting to do?
I actually want to do a TED Talk.
Really?
I have so much to say and so much
You can't do a whole
to
lot on a TED
offer.
Talk. It's only a few minutes.
I know, but it could be very impactful. Like I know the punch that I was head
10
for.
minutes to change the world, right?
Exactly. I just want, like I said, I just want women to know that you're not the only one, and let's laugh about it and smile and be happy. Life is too short.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to write the book?
6 months. I actually wrote it on my way to work. I was on the train, and I would write it in my phone on the way to work.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
No, it's not crazy because I'm doing the same thing. But
Yeah, it just goes to show when you really want to do something, nothing is going to be in your way. Nothing's going to stop you. So go for it.
So for people who want to get, well, I'll do that at the end. For people who want to find out more about the book and stuff like that. But give us some advice about relationships. I mean, you've had these experiences now, right?
Yeah.
Top 3 things women make mistakes in.
They lose themselves in a relationship. So there's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. It teaches people how to treat you. If you're constantly putting others before you, then they'll think, oh, she's just, you know, she's gonna be second, third, whatever, and she'll be fine with it. And that's not okay. So learn to put yourself first. Learn to speak your truth and not be ashamed of it. Once you own it, no one can hold it against you. And last, have fun, have a good time. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So top 3 mistakes guys make that you find. Come on, don't roll your eyes like that. You see her roll her eyes like,
Sorry. Generalizing.
Okay.
One thing I can't stand is when a guy says, oh, you women all do this, or females all do that. Like, I can't stand that. Don't do that, guys. They don't listen. Sometimes she wants to be heard. She's not looking for you to solve her problem all the time. Sometimes she just wants somebody to say, I understand. And the last one, I don't know. I guess just be honest. A lot of people want to pretend to be something that they're not, and that's not cool because we're going to find out anyway. So you might as well be who you are.
So do you have these conversations like guys and girls getting together, and have you had that one yet?
I love that. When I first released my book, I did a focus group, and I had kind of like a battle of the sexes, and it gets intense.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but it's fun, and everyone listens to each other, everyone's respectful, so it makes for a fun conversation.
So with the way the relationships are today, you know, a lot of people start off good, things end off, you know, going bad. What did you find to be the turning point for you in your relationships?
I guess when I just feel like I'm not being myself, or I'm not expressing myself the way I want to. If I get very quiet in the relationship, I know it's not working. So I need to be able to speak freely and for them to respect my opinion on things and actually want to hear what I have to say. So that's important.
Right. So
He's like, Drew.
Drew, I'm listening. Listen.
See, it's good.
I'm just asking the questions. I'm listening though. I'm doing a good job here. So listen, Tales of a single relationship expert.
Yes.
So are you still single now?
I am still single now.
So that means if you're out there, be sure you watch the segment, read the book before you talk to her, because, you know, she's got a whole lot of material.
It can only help.
It can only help. So tell people, like, coming up around the corner, what you got coming up soon?
So I'm going to be doing a book tour soon with fellow author Kendra Bell. I got some stuff coming up with Herview. We're going to do a brunch where we raise some money, maybe get some kids some stuff for school, the school year coming up. And Essence Fest is around the corner. Last year my book sold out, so hopefully this year it'll do the same.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations on all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep writing the book.
Yes.
Keep having the talk.
Thank you.
Keep agitating. You know where to find her. A little bit. All right. To find out and purchase the book, visit divinginstilettosfirst.com. Listen, we don't want you to go anywhere. We'll be back with more coming up right after this.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love, love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Well, thank you for staying with us. The All of Us Research Program at the Bronx Community Health Network, better known as BCHN, seeks to increase and improve medical research to create personalized medical treatments and cures by understanding why certain people get certain diseases and others don't. Now, they're holding a town hall meeting. The future of health begins with you. And here now to share a little bit more are Paulette Spencer, BCHN Community Engagement Policy Analyst, and Patricia Kimber, who's also a community health worker. And good to have you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very important time for you guys.
Yes.
So for those people who don't know a little bit about the wellness program, give us to us.
Well, the community wellness program consists of our health staff, a community health worker here, Patricia Kimber, and BCHN is a federally funded health center, and we are in 21 health centers throughout the Bronx, 18 of which are run by Montefiore Medical Center, and 3 are run by Promesa. And of that group, we have 9 programs in schools. And so the work that we do throughout the community, through our workshops, through our other programs, is really what brings together our health and wellness program.
And Patricia, share a little bit about what you do.
I'm one of 20 community health workers.
One of 20?
One of 20.
Okay.
And we're a diverse group throughout the Bronx, how the Bronx is diverse. And we do outreach, community engagement, as well as assisting social determinants of health inside the centers and addressing any cares and needs of the patients. We are the link and the liaison between the clinicians, the social workers, and the patients, and the community.
And the community.
Yes.
Well, speaking of community, big town hall meeting coming up, and opportunity for the community to come together, actually hear some voices. What's going to be discussed?
Well, we're going to be looking at health issues that face the Bronx, that the Bronx faces. We're going to also have Senator Gustavo Rivera as our keynote speaker. And we will feature a program of physicians who will be speaking about the various illnesses that the Bronx suffers from as a collective borough. And we will be looking at lupus, we'll be looking at issues of oncology, also health issues that concern your brain. And at the end, we'll be looking at ethics and the importance of informed consent. And the importance of this particular project in focusing on populations that are traditionally underrepresented in medical studies, and why.
And give us a little bit about how the wellness team is working out in the community today.
Well, as a community health worker, we are widely educated and trained and certified. And we do a lot of outreach, enrollment, health development, encouragement. And as I said, we address all the needs and concerns of the patients.
Right. What do you find to be some of the primary concerns that you're dealing with right now?
Okay. We find that a lot of the community is not aware that health care is available to them, that it's free, and that health is very important, and wellness is definitely, okay, because medicine has changed. And as a community health worker, we get barriers where people don't trust. So we are the link that give them the faith to trust that our organization, the providers will assist them and help them have a positive outcome on health, wellness, and living conditions.
Living conditions are very, very important, especially when it comes to health and that transition right there. Give us a little bit when you talk about this town hall, right? You've got Senator Gustavo Rivera town hall meeting. What is your hope that comes out of the town hall? Because everybody has this great takeaway after we get together. So what's the great takeaway that you're hoping that people take as they leave the town hall?
We hope that they'll understand that there's major efforts that are being undertaken nationally to really address health disparities. Traditionally, medications have been created with a certain standard or generic prototype in mind. So we know that they've been created with the idea of a European middle-aged man in mind. But right now, we're seeing a sort of tidal shift where we want to create a database that includes enough information about at least 1 million Americans or 1 million American residents that will enable clinicians in the future to create medications, cures, therapies that will actually target or address particular groups. So this way we can shift the model so that it will look like the person it's meant to actually help.
Yeah. And when you talk about community awareness, right, and going out into the community, letting people know about healthcare, and I think I was a little bit, I'm not a little bit stunned, but a little bit stunned by the fact that even today, years later, people still don't know that healthcare is still free.
Yes, it's amazing. But we're here to encourage, and that's our job as community health workers, to ensure them that there's always assistance with health, care, wellness, and social determinants of health.
All right. Well, Paulette and Patricia, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us and being with us here on Open. And certainly, we want to tell people a little bit more about this town hall. I'm going to give them the information right now. All right. Well, BCHN, all of us will be taking, or I should say all of us will be taking place on Friday, May 17th. And that is from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Bronx Library Center Auditorium. That's 310 East Kingsbridge Road. Once again, 310 East Kingsbridge Road. Now, for more information, what you have to do is visit bchnhealth.org or email info@bchnhealth.org. We'll be back with more show. Well, I'm not going to go right back. We're going to stay right here because guess what? In other news, Bronx Fashion Week held its first annual Project Dream, an event where girls can get their dreams, I should say their dream prom dress, free of charge. And guess what? The event was hosted by Casa Es Su Casa, and dresses were donated by the business and the community. And our reporter, Sanji Lopez, was out there, and she brings us the story.
It's officially prom season, and the first annual Project Dream prom dress donation drive by Bronx Fashion Week, hosted by Caridad de la Luz, took place at the Bay Plaza Mall.
This is my prom dress from 1991 from Murray Bertram High School. This is so important. It's like such a beautiful time of like a young girl's life is to have her prom, and so many beautiful dresses were donated by so many amazing people. There's like a line of girls walking out with absolutely stunning dresses, and they're gonna feel beautiful, confident, and it's a blessing to be a part of it.
Project Dream and Bronx Fashion Week were both born through founder Flora Montes' touching and emotional personal story.
My whole life has been inspired by my daughter that passed away 18 years ago. I wouldn't be doing any of this had that not happened in my life. But to say that I have no regrets, and I'm so grateful, and it feels so good to give these dresses away to all these girls. It's amazing.
Girls were able to sift through racks of beautiful prom dresses, shoes, and later got decked in jewelry, all made possible by donations from both local businesses and the community.
They get to enter the store 3 or 4 at a time, pick out 3 dresses to try on, and ideally find their dress of their dreams. We're asking the girls to hashtag on prom night Project Dream Dress so that they could show off the beauties that they took home with them.
Our school, Smith, we were the drop-off locations for the dresses, so the dresses were donated into Smith, and then they were brought here for the prom dress event.
I'm giving away 1 piece of jewelry per girl for prom, and I'm doing it because, you know, there's a lot of girls that are not able to get, you know, their dress, shoes. It's costly. I have children, so, and they all graduating at the same time, back to back, so I understand. You know, it's very cost efficient that you try to do everything.
The parents were just as happy as the girls who found their dream dresses at this charitable and heartwarming event.
I love seeing all these girls. They are so happy to find a dress, and then the free accessory and the gifts. They're like happy because it's like the girls are used to gowns and short dresses, and they all found something so nice. My girls each found something beautiful.
She got something way beyond what we were going to be able to get her. And she is so happy, and I'm happy because she's happy. And I mean, you know, I just got disabled, so this is like God giving me a blessing.
A lot of people go through things, and like just to have Project Dream offer like designer dresses, expensive dresses, and like really nice dresses for free, like that could really help out females in need, or like people in need actually.
I want girls to know, I want to empower them. I want them to be inspired. I want them to know that no matter where they come from, even from the South Bronx, where I came from, right? Because I came from nothing to all of this. And I want them to know that they too can do this.
Thanks to the donors and sponsors involved in Project Dream Dress, many young girls walked away from Bay Plaza today with their dream dresses, and they're ready for prom night. Reporting for BronxNet, Sanji Lopez.
And thank you, Sanji. Well, In Foco Inc. presents On Gentrification, Mi Casa Es Su Casa. Set in a historic and architectural landmark, this group exhibition investigates and reflects on metaphorical and literal notions of home belonging, displacement, street life, urban renewal, and gentrification, as well as activism. Here now to share a little bit more about the upcoming exhibition and opening reception are Bella Guado, director of In Foco Inc., with artists Carla Lopez and Sophie Vasquez. And thank you so much for coming to share with us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Good. I mean, when we talk about the Bronx and gentrification, it's real. You know, Manhattan is facing it. And you guys are tackling this issue head on.
Well, I think what's especially appropriate about this exhibition is you have a viewpoint from younger artists, younger emerging artists who have the works are quite extraordinary. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit different than the usual politics that people discuss, mm-hmm. but it captures individuals, it captures communities in a very sensitive way.
Talk about your work and your work with this project.
For me personally, with street photography, it's a way of documenting the ever-changing neighborhoods that I've grown up in. Specifically, I was focusing on Westchester Avenue because I'm on the 6th. And that's becoming rapidly unrecognizable, and I've been living there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And so I use street photography as a way to capture the subtle beauties of my neighborhood, but also to have like an archive of something that I feel is slowly like losing my grasp.
So what are you seeing?
So many T-Mobiles have been popping up lately. I think there's been like 8. Mm-hmm. But no, small businesses that I used to go to as a child are shutting down. Reckon one of the biggest ones is right in front of the Fine Fair was a wine and liquor store and this beautiful graffiti wall, and now they just completely demolished it, and it's going to become a luxury condo, and it's going to block the view. It's going to bring in so much traffic, so much excessive stuff that we don't need. There's like so much other stuff we do need, but they're like, how about we build a mm-hmm. luxury hotel?
Mm-hmm. And for you?
My photography is really based on the Bronx girl experience. I was born and raised on the concourse, so I started doing the series Bodega Dreams for just to display how important bodegas have been in our communities growing up, and just the loss of that like classic bodega aesthetic that we're known for. And a lot of generations, like my uncle was a bodega owner, and I grew up in bodegas, in and out of bodegas, and I know how important they are to our community. And just seeing the displacement of so many families and all of that, I just want to keep that nostalgia for the rest of us, or for future generations to have.
And so you got several artists who are actually going to be collaborating. These are just a couple of them, but there are more.
There are two more artists. It's a group show of 4 artists. These are 2 are Bronx-based. The other 2 artists are from different parts of the city. And Foco serves the entire region, and has been in existence since 1974, providing artists of color with extraordinary opportunities that are not usually available to them.
Right. And so why did you tackle this topic in particular?
Well, the apartment gallery series is we identify apartments where people have been active in their own community. We have one that we've been doing it in Harlem and Convent Avenue. We have one in the South Bronx and one in the North Bronx. But I think what's interesting is that everyone has been active in their community, and it's their priorities, it's their focus that helps us define what of what the theme of the show, how it's going to be curated. And we have a curator that selects the artists and selects the work.
I'm going to ask them upstairs to take me back to the pictures that we're seeing right now, because we're seeing some images right now that are on the screen. So if you could walk me through a little bit of these pictures right here of what exactly we're seeing.
That's actually my photo. The black and white is
Okay, let's go back. Go back. Take me back one. The black and white.
The black and white. It's titled "One Day in June, West Farm Square," in the Bronx, right on the 2 stop. I was actually photographing. If you've been there recently, there's a massive new building being constructed. And so I was kind of just photographing that, documenting it. And I kind of looked down and I just saw this gentleman and I just took a photograph. And this is also mine. He told me a story in Cortlandt Avenue, another gentleman by the Bronx Documentary Center. He was talking to everyone and he just kind of looked away for a second. I took his portrait, kind of just him in his own mind.
That's mine, yeah.
Go ahead, tell us. That's mine.
Well, that photo was taken in El Barrio about 4 years ago. I spent a lot of time in El Barrio growing up, and it was just that lone Puerto Rican flag just like called out to me. And that's actually my first film photograph ever. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay. This you too?
Yes, that's me too. That photo was taken in the Hunts Point area of the Bronx. I was just walking around and I just happened to find it, and there's one actually right across the street from it. And I had never taken photos, like I've taken a lot of photos of bodegas, but I never took a photo of it at night. And something told me to take it in black and white because I just wanted to capture the depth of it and make it look like super, you know. And this photo was taken on 172 and Grand Concourse. It was a gentleman that I saw there just hanging out on a summer day, listening to music. And I had to just take a photo of him. And I saw him a few years later and showed him this photograph. And he said that's one of his favorite photographs ever. So.
Yeah, that takes me back. Yeah,
yeah, it's a throwback. Yeah,
pretty interesting.
And that image is the one we use for on the invitation, and it's really generated a lot of attention because there's street photographers, there's documentary photographers, but the level of photography is of a very high quality that we're talking about fine art here.
Right.
So it's not just someone shooting and hoping to get a shot. This is a young, extraordinary artist.
And you're you have these young, extraordinary artists. You've got this hot topic that really is facing all of New York City, and an ability to really take a look through a different kind of lens, right? And people to be able to really identify.
Well, the person whose home we're in, she's part of the East Mott Haven Historic District of artists, homeowners of color who are trying to preserve their home, to preserve their culture, and to keep it going. And they see photography and the fine arts as a way of generating positive attention to homeowners, not to sell out, but to stay there.
Right, and that's what you kind of like led into my next question about that, because as you have your art, right, and people are taking a look at the art, what kind of feedback are you getting about what they're seeing and what their sense of emotion is?
Personally, from a lot of reactions I've gotten to my photographs that really meant a lot was reminds me of home. It reminds me of growing up, the summer stories in the Bronx. It's sort of like I capture something that's universal. It's something that we can all relate to, and that's really, I think, the biggest compliment and greatest thing of photographers, having someone have that emotional reaction to it.
The same goes for me as well. I've had people that grew up in the Bronx, moved to other states, see my photographs and be like, wow, this reminds me of home, this reminds me of growing up, like in the Bronx and everything. So I definitely relate to her as well.
Yeah, well, Bill, Carla, Sophie, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Raising a very important issue, and you guys do great work. So
Thank you.
Thank you so
hopefully
much.
a lot of people come out and check it out. And certainly it's definitely eye-catching. So I
Thank
want to
you.
let you know now, if you want to check out the opening reception for On Gentrification, Mi Casa Es Su Casa, it's taking place Thursday, yes, tomorrow, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Revival Romanesque Row House, and that's the Row House Gallery at 413 East 140th Street. The exhibition will be on view from May the 9th through June 6th. Be sure to check it out. Now, if you want more information or if you want to RSVP, visit Infoco.org. Once again, Infoco.org. All right, we'll have a quick break, and we're going to come back with more show coming up right after this.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
And we are back here, really live television. The Lady Bosses movement consists of a group of inspirational speakers traveling around the world, meeting young women of every race, girl talk, and promoting self-development as being the key to success and living bring our self-success boss lifestyle. Now, they're holding a women's meetup titled Bosses in Action. Joining us now to tell us more are the Lady Bosses themselves, founders Rainier Johnson, Francine Johnson, and Crystal Gladden. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm around so many bosses. Right? So talk about the boss movement. So you guys are really trying to impact young ladies, and taking a message of empowerment to them.
Yes, absolutely.
So Lady Bosses, we're a women empowerment movement. We started back in 2016, and we're all from the Bronx. So our idea behind it is to create a platform for the youth and for our community to allow them to bring out self-success, which is living a boss lifestyle. And we're also inspirational speakers for the youth.
Mm-hmm. So when you talk about a boss lifestyle, what's a boss lifestyle? What's a boss lifestyle?
Basically, living a lifestyle where you're doing what you want to do, you know? You don't have to live the lifestyle that people assume, just getting up, going to school, going to work, and having to do those things. We want people to be able to do what is it that they really want to do. So finding the time to live that lifestyle. So for me, it was almost about recreating yourself.
Right. So for all of us, also when we say like being a boss, living a boss lifestyle, it's not so much about being the boss or telling you do this, you do that. No, it's about being the boss of you, taking control of you, that self-development, building your self-skills to become a better you. So you're your own boss.
Gotcha. Listen, you got me sold. I mean, I know. Listen, let's talk about the meetup because you have a meetup as well.
Yes, we have this. We're doing our second annual meetup. I mean, not second annual. Our second meetup, May 21st, Tuesday. It's called Bosses in Action, and this one is going to be geared around fitness. We all know how health is wealth. Yes. Right. So we basically, providing this service so that way people can come out and get started on that. Sometimes a lot of things cost a lot of money. This is a free event, and it's about being around like-minded women that all want the same thing. Fitness is really, it's challenging for most women. We try to work out, it doesn't work out. So first thing is getting your mind right, and then making the goals and then achieving them.
Some people need that support system, need that other person for motivation. So you come out to the event, you can meet like-minded people, a lot of people, and then the guest speaker, she's a physical trainer, she's a fitness trainer, she knows nutrition, so you can get your questions answered there.
Right. And you talk about going into the high schools and talking to young girls and really giving them that kind of introduction. What's the reception that you get when you have this kind of conversation about having this boss lifestyle? Because, you're introducing a great concept, and many times it's the first time they're even really, coming to grips with it.
Yeah. So it's all about you versus you. That's our topic, is you versus you. Having our female students understand that it starts with you and it ends with you. No matter who you're around, you are the leader of your life. So we focus on different skills such as balancing, self-care, making sure that they understand what meditation is, understanding what journaling is, understand what talking to your peers is. So not only when we speak to the students, we give them advice, but we allow them to give each other advice too on things that they've been through or experienced or they've seen their friends go through. So we kind of just make that intimate, comfortable space to speak amongst each other and have that girl chat conversation.
So I know about the two of you guys, but how'd you guys get this thing going?
Well, first we all went to high school.
We went to high school together.
We all went to high school together. So we are class of 09. And ever since then, yes, we went to Astor Collegiate Academy inside Christopher Columbus High School in the Bronx. And since then, we've just always hung out together, doing what most kids do when they come out of high school, mess up. And, we just kind of, at some point in our life, we kind of wanted to make a turning point. And we were looking for mentors and looking for guidance, and we couldn't find that. So we wanted to build a platform to make sure that the next generation under us actually have that.
And talk about that platform now, because not only are you providing mentorship, I mean, obviously you guys have mentors now as well. So give us, who are some of your mentors and who are you learning from?
Honestly, a lot of stuff that we are learning from, getting involved in church, so our pastors is definitely big mentors to us, and a lot of it is the motivational speakers. We listen to a lot of Eric Thomas, Tony Robinson, and we hold each other up.
Right. We hold each other accountable.
Yes.
For a lot of the things that we do and a lot of things that we come up with and things that we go through, it's really just us and going back to the inspirational speaking and listening to others do inspirational speaking. So we get their motivation and we motivate others.
Right. And then it's kind of like our students are our mentors too, because speaking to them make us want to become a better us, We know that we have to hold ourselves at a higher standard because we got people looking up to us. So we know that they go through things, and we know that we're always going to go through things. So whatever we experience, we try to help them. We know that we have to get through it. Like, how can I fix this? We can't dwell on it because somebody else might be going through this, and we have to be able to try to help them the best way we can.
You got the second annual meetup, but talk about the first one. How did the first one go for you?
It was perfect.
The first one was great. We had it back in March. That one was about recreation.
Yes.
We had a wonderful guest speaker, and it was a wonderful turnout. We had a lot of females show up, a lot of people networked. We did a lot of talking. We had food, drinks. It was a great turnout.
Yeah, it was a success. It was really good because, people had the ability to talk about things they won't talk with their regular friends outside, Not everyone is moving at the same pace at the same time. So it's like now you get to be in a room with other people that wants to strive and become successful just as bad as you do. So having the conversations with other people that, are striving to become successful is a better conversation.
Are you hearing like common threads as you talk to these, as you talk to these people? What are the common threads that you're hearing?
I think the main thing is juggling everything, you know, feeling like wanting to do something but not having the time because of work, kids, you know, and then also not having the support system. That's a really big thing, because what they may want, if they talk to their spouse or their friends, is just like, yeah, okay, I hear you, but they need feedback. They need to talk to people that have been through what they're currently going through and to motivate them and inspire them, and that's what these groups are for.
And I think another big thing is just getting started. Just how do you get started if you want to make that change, if you want to do things differently? How do you get started, and then how do you explain that to others? I think that was a big thing, too, during the meetup. A lot of people didn't know how to get started.
So now for people who want to get in touch with you guys, you come on over, talk, empower somebody, and let them know, groups, whatever. How do they go about doing that?
Well, like as far as us going out, or like our social media, or where they can contact. Okay, so they can follow us on our Instagram, which is @LadyBosses_movement. We also have a Facebook that they can contact us, and we have our website as well called www.everythingislb.com, where they can email us as well.
All right, so we want to make sure that they get connected to you. Congratulations, and as you look forward to your second meetup, you know, we hope that these young ladies continue to be empowered. Thanks for doing the great work that you guys are doing in the community.
Thank you.
All righty, listen. Now, let you know again, the Bosses in Action Women's Meetup is going to take place Tuesday, May 21st from 7:30 to 9:30 at the Grill on the Hill, 1624 Amsterdam Avenue. It is a real place, the Grill on the Hill, 1624 Amsterdam Avenue. Now, listen, for more information, visit everythingislb.com. Now, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank all of our beautiful guests for joining us, and of course you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimus Channel 67. If you're on Verizon Fios Channel 33, or anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. Special shout out to all those who watch on the MNN channel as Open is broadcast live on MNN. I want to say a big shout out to my sister Ann. That about wraps it up for us here on the set of Open. I'm Daren Jaime. Make sure to keep this channel wide open. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. God bless.